Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. We're kind of between holidays. We just had Memorial Day last week. It's a day for honoring and mourning the military personnel who've died in the performance of their military duty while serving in the armed forces. It's found in every country. And the last one we saw was the Memorial Day for the United States. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died and gave that right to me. It was a once well-accepted patriotic song, and now it's associated politically for some reason. But it captures the point of the holiday: honor, being free. It's an important thing that we have. We're studying the first group of people who truly were free. Now, whether you're an American, a Canadian, an Albanian, or a Martian, it really doesn't matter. Light a candle, honor those who fought on your behalf. So hopefully you never have to. Just a month ago we did it for Israel. We do it for every country in the world. So make sure that you do take a moment, light a candle. It helps their souls. And of course, coming up is Father's Day, which will be followed by the summer solstice. And Father's Day, just like Mother's Day, was the day to honor dear old dad, new ones, old ones, forgotten ones. A child arrived just the other day. He came into the world in the usual way, like airplanes to catch, bills to pay, learned to walk while I was away. Talking for I knew it, and he grew up and say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. Now, of course, we all know how that song turned out. How many of you grew up like that? How many of you said, I'll be different? How many of you turned out the same? That your fathers just didn't have the time for you, and you didn't have the time for your own sons. There's probably no more strained relations than that between father and son, and we saw it with Abraham. We saw it with every one of his children. Do not let the past influence your relationship. Start fresh, both fathers and sons. Call your dad if he's gone and not around you. Right? We don't always live close to our parents as we get older. And if your father is passed on, you could still have a chat with him and tell him how you feel and what he means, because your spirit never dies. And of course, a happy birthday to our favorite 99-year-old. Medical science has shown if you make it to 100, you're probably going to live many more years. But it's making it to the 100. That's the tough part. Now, even though Cat Stevens told us the first cut is the deepest, I guess the last year is the hardest. The sad thing is, while Cat Stevens wrote a fantastic, be it sad love song, we may love different things in life. And I know more than one person whose greatest love is the love of money, not family, not anything but the golden calf of excess. Don't let that happen to you. Now, I'm not sure if you saw it, and I hope everybody gets a chance to read it, but the Jerusalem Post had a fantastic article last weekend about everyone's new favorite mayor and his continued insults to the Jewish people. And I really do encourage you all to try and read it. It references the fight of a French aristocrat in 1789 who argued that Jews should be made citizens, but with a caveat attached. He argued you could be French and Jewish in private, but not as a group. You could have private home service, but you couldn't congregate as a collective. Now, Mandami's refusal to march with the Jewish people in New York last week tells them that as individuals, they are New Yorkers, and he represents all New Yorkers. But as a group, they are nothings and not deserving of his presence. The false promise of acceptance has never been handled by the Jewish people properly. They're not assimilated citizens. They're the victims and scapegoats of continued indignation, and they've continued to be murdered and sacrificed at the drop of a hat in all societies. Just look at the history of Europe for the last couple of 100 years. Welcome to the new New York. Wake up, people, especially Jewish New Yorkers. We're reading about the first nation to journey to freedom. Do not let it be the last. And let us continue our journey to freedom. As we gather, put away our differences and form a like-minded group, a collective consciousness of seekers showing faith, any and all faith. love. Any and all love, a true chavura, fellowship. As we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. And even though together we are individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her, their own way. So once again, please do go ahead. Invite everybody you know, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, any way at all, to spiritually gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Hine Matov, U'menayim, Shevet Ahim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, U'menayim, Shevet Ahim Gam Yachad. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. We support each other in this community, so let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is you setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in, because we all believe in something. It's a part of your kavanah. Your intention that you put out to the universe, it's your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you control, of what you can correct. Your intention sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives, my friends. So let's take some time now. Let's use that intention. Let's send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. Healing renewal is for everyone. Floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know, and for the souls and spirits of everyone you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world that we do. The tikkun olam, healing of the world. It's a part of our spiritual genetic makeup. And a part of that healing of the world is when we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everyone. They don't have to be sick. It is the prayer for the sick, but it is for all of those in our hearts and our minds. Let's all send energy out for people in need everywhere. Special thoughts and prayers always for those who truly are in need of assistance. We pray for those who need prayer. We don't have to know them. We want health, recovery, good life for everybody around us. At least we should. And for those who are close to us. For good old Jagger, doing better all the time under the care and tutelage of his dear friend Carson. For my music partner, who always makes me smile. Always carrying the burden of so many. For Dr. J, always thinking about the well-being of others. For lovely Leanne, a true breath of fresh air. Needs help. For Laura and Victoria and Angela, loyal and true. For Alan, Corey, for Sherry. For Gabriella, who's got a birthday coming. For Pinky, Lorella. For the giggling one and Lily. Unfortunately, she's gone for the summer, so I won't see her for a while. For sweet Alana. For the Elf, MW, and Snoopy. For Roberta. For Ainur and Winston, who I love seeing, and they're getting ready for Winston's birthday, so I won't be seeing them at the summer solstice. For John and Fern. For John and Maria. For Gloria. For Doria. For Ronnie and Connie. For Mayim and Tally. For Nina. Her twin Linda. For Danny. For all those suffering and in need. Let's not forget to include the familiars of our lives, all of our sacred animal friends. We all have them. For everyone you know in need, for the whole world, and for Devora, who always knows she is special and has a refuge of love. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing, wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Me, Shabera, Avotenu, Makor HaBracha, Limotenu, may the source of strength to bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Barak, let us all have our spirits renewed This is the great prayer for healing in which he calls upon God to heal as he is healed before. Misha Berach, may he who blessed, because all healing is a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Now this week we read, beha'alotcha, when you set up. Numbers 8:2, speak to Aaron. You shall say to him, when you set up the lamps, the 7 lamps shall shed light opposite the front of the menorah. What does this suggest? You know, when we light a candle, we shed light on what is facing us so that we can see. Now, the 2 most iconic symbols of Judaism are the Star of David, with its mirrored triangle telling us as above, so below, and the menorah, the 7-branched candlestick, one for each day of creation, each day of the week, each visible planet, each chakra, each path of the labyrinth. And by the light thrown by the flames of truth and faith and right and good and love and life, we can shed light on all the things that we face, all the things we confront, all the things we fear, all of the things that are always in front of us. Light will always be our friend, and it's only when we live in darkness that we fear the light. This light will always be present, leading the people to a new life. These people are on the path to a new life. They're about to celebrate Passover. In fact, the Passover at the mountain marks the 2nd Exodus. The first was leaving Egypt. The second is leaving the mountain. Numbers 9:1. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. In the 2nd year, they're going out from the land of Egypt. In the 1st month, saying, let the Israelites do the Passover offering at its fixed time. On the 14th day of this month, at twilight, you shall do it at its fixed time, according to all its statutes and according to all its laws, you shall do it. And Moses spoke to the Israelites to do the Passover offering, and they did the offering in the 1st month, on the 14th day of the month at twilight, in the wilderness of Sinai. The 3rd Exodus will be when you decide to leave the fear and slavery of your present life. And as the people leave, the people are reminded there is one law for everyone. One statute shall you have, both for the stranger and for the native of the land. We are one in the eyes of God. Think of that. The people celebrate Passover, and God specifies there's one law, and it governs all the people, be they tribesmen or alien. Then the cloud descends, and the journey is set to finally begin. The cloud takes center stage now. Numbers 9:16. So it would be always. The cloud would cover it in the appearance of fire at night. So we have this cloud. It's cloud during the day, it's fire at night. And according to when the cloud was lifted from over the tent, after that the children of Israel would travel. And in a place where the cloud would tent, the children of Israel would camp there. So the cloud is in effect the determining factor as to when movement takes place. It would be the sign. Its movement determined whether the people should stay or should go. Should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay or should I go now? If I go, there will be trouble. If I stay, it will be double. So come on and let me know. Should I stay or should I go? The deity cannot be pictured as residing on the earth. Right? God can't live on the earth. But God is understood to tent among humans. That is, to be present in association with a movable structure. Therefore, the tent and its movement is what takes this place. Numbers 9:18. By the Lord's word, the children of Israel would travel, and by the Lord's word, they would camp. All the days that the cloud would tent over the tabernacle, they would camp. And when the cloud would extend many days over the tabernacle, then the children of Israel would not travel. There were times that the cloud would be over the tabernacle for a number of days. There were times it would be over from evening till morning. And if it lifted in the morning, they would travel. Or for a day and a night and the cloud was lifted, they traveled. But if it was there for weeks or months, they stayed. When the cloud would extend long over the tabernacle, the children of Israel would camp and they would not travel. When it was lifted, they would. Numbers 10:11. It was in the 2nd year in the second month, on the 20th of the month, that the cloud was lifted from over the tabernacle. The children of Israel set out on their travels from the wilderness of Sinai, and the cloud tented in the wilderness of Paran. The true journey now begins, but not without its own issues. Things change. Numbers 11:1, and the people were like grumblers, bad in the Lord's ears, and the Lord heard, and his anger flared, and a fire burned among them and consumed at the edge of the camp. This is just the first of many accounts of their complaining in Numbers. Numbers is full of the story of the people complaining. And interestingly, it's the only one in which the reason for their dissatisfaction is not told. Every other time we're told why they grumbled. This time we're not told. But we find out very quickly there is this general lack of satisfaction for the food, for the journey, the political, you name it. The people were simply unhappy about everything. Never mind the fact that they're now free. When I'm driving in my car and a man comes on the radio telling me more and more about some useless information supposed to drive my imagination, I can't get no satisfaction. People are never satisfied. Some people can never be satisfied. I think we all know people who can never be satisfied. Throughout this journey, Moses epitomizes humankind. It is precisely this wilderness generation, the generation that is closest to God, who hear God's voice, who see miracles daily, who are the most rebellious generation in the Bible. They grumble about everything. Food, place, rules. This in turn reminds us of the Bible's first story. When humans live in the garden where God walks, they make the initial act of rebellion. Now, an ongoing point of the Torah is that humans and their Creator have an underlying basis of conflict, something in the very nature of the divine-human relationship. And the relations between God and Abraham's descendants are aimed at ultimately resolving this. We're then left with this amazing incident and a warning. Don't forget, they're going to be wandering in the desert for 40 years. They don't know it yet. Numbers 12:1. And Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses about the Cushite wife whom he had taken, because he had taken a Cushite wife. Now, Cush is usually understood to be Ethiopia, and this informs us of a new fact. We already knew Moses was married to Zipporah, so this story is about a second, probably Ethiopian wife. And the underlying lesson is that Miriam and Aaron speaking against this wife is what has come to be known as Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara is forbidden speech. Miriam's sin was gossiping. Now, why is it forbidden? Why is Lashon Hara such a terrible thing? It's negative speech, but according to Maimonides, the great interpreter of so much, anything which, if it would be publicized, would cause the subject physical or monetary damage or would cause him anguish or fear is Lashon Hara. And it's Lashon Hara even if it's true, even if a listener pressures the speaker to tell, even if names are left out, even if it's about the speaker's own family, even if the speaker includes himself in the derogatory description, it is still forbidden speech. And listening to Lashon Hara is prohibited for two reasons. First, it's forbidden to accept or believe Lashon Hara. By listening to it, one might cause himself to believe it. And second, by participating in a session of Lashon Hara, the listener would be assisting the other participants to commit the sins of speaking and believing the gossip, the negative, the forbidden speech. Now, in the Pirkei Avot, an awesome book that you've heard me mention many times, The Ethics of the Fathers, it says, whoever engages in excessive talk brings on sin. Friends, when you listen, when you participate in gossip in any way, shape, or form, or any other form of Lashon Hara, three people are always affected: the teller, the listener, and the subject. Do not be any one of these three. Gossip is destructive. And in this case, it results in Miriam's punishment, being deprived of all pigment, so she can perhaps experience the same as Moses' Ethiopian wife. Numbers 22:10. And the cloud turned from the tent, and here Miriam was leprous, like snow. Miriam is left with skin blanching. They used to call it leprous. Now they simply say it's skin blanching, in which her flesh simply becomes devoid of pigment. Now, if we understand that Moses' Cushite wife is Ethiopian, then this is a karmic punishment with a powerful biblical statement regarding racism, as if God's saying to Miriam, you don't like a woman who's black? Try being completely white. This is a book of karmic lessons. We saw that from the beginning of Abraham. It's all about karma. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred, and so is everything in it. But express your gratitude. Light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. An end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we're a community. We learn together. We celebrate with each other. We love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's all send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, healing to all who need it. And please do, learn to forgive. Learn to love, including yourself. Open your hearts, honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. Our intention, our kavana, our cause, our effect. Everything is linked. You always have time to forgive and be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. Do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who have hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate. The secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people, in the world just as it is? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance will bring you. So keep on dreaming, my friends. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart. Quiet your mind. Because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief and what they mean to you. And never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together. We learn together. We help each other. Because we are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives. So find them. Tell them what they mean. Because you're never alone on your journey. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive. Keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. Listen to the voice of God as he talks to you. And remember, your connection to God and all that's created, in body and in soul and spirit, it's a part of you, it's a part of me, it's a part of all of us, and will be forever. So enjoy the journey, my friends. We're on the road in the wilderness, where we will forge a nation, a code of ethical laws, character, and understanding of the interconnectedness of all, and the opportunity for you to get to know you and to find where you need to go. You never have to partake in gossip, jealousy, forbidden speech, because it hurts us all. I know the reason that you talk behind my back. I used to be among the crowd you're in with. Do you take me for such a fool to think I'd make contact with the one who tries to hide what you don't know to begin with? Well, thank you for joining me, my friends. Keep sharing the light. Practice forgiveness. Be thankful, be gracious, be kind, be loving, believe in yourself. Help your fellow traveler. Spread a little goodwill to the world. Continue to be the miracle in someone else's life and be an example of all that you can be. Shabbat Shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.